daddy.
You have to say, ready, Santa.
Call him daddy.
You have to say, ready, Santa.
You ready now?
Yep.
Let's do this. Okay. I guess the countdown will have to work. So 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All right. We're ready. Hi.
Hi again.
I'm doing pretty good. You ready, Rudolph?
Yep, I'm ready.
Oh, you have to say ready, Santa. But it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. All right. So
Ready?
So, number one question. Um, Mia, how did you meet her, and what has she done so far as of now to where you're at the stage of where she's at?
So, me and Mia met through Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I met her through a group chat with another friend that was like, hey, these people are all cool. So I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
And everything seemed normal. Just fucking like chat with like 8 different people, which was excessive, by the way.
Yeah.
And way too many fucking people. But like half of us all talked pretty regularly, and everything seemed fine. And that happened for about like 2 weeks, I want to say, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. And so all was fine. And then the whole thing with Keemstar interviewing Onision happened.
Yeah.
So,
The interview.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
like whole internet, all of Twitter had a huge fucking uproar, and Mia was like, "I'm gonna mirror it." Well, she wasn't the only one, obviously. Like there was like fucking dozens of people wanting to mirror it, so like Keem wouldn't get the fucking views, Onision wouldn't get the views, and so she posted she was gonna mirror it, and somehow, some way, Keemstar himself fucking found it and had a fucking shit fit over it,
Mm-hmm.
to the point where he was posting her pictures doing tic-tac-toe on her big ass forehead.
And the thing is,
And
she really does have a big forehead there. Like, I really do believe that when Trump said that he wanted to build a wall, I'm pretty sure he was looking at her forehead when he said it, and that's how it caught on with his whole campaign. But that's just me. I'm not 100% sure about that.
so
Um,
yeah, the whole Keem thing happened, and she was egging Keem on. Now, I will admit that me and several other people, were on her side because we all considered her a friend.
mhm.
So we were like, keep going, keep going. He's fucking stupid. Can't really fucking do much. So we egged her on to keep going because we didn't think much would come of it.
Yeah.
So she kept egging him on. She made her fucking Twitter name Sue Me Keem and shit like that. And right around when Keem like really started, getting at her, me and our other friend Nicole decided, we were talking in a group chat privately with another friend, and we were like, this is going a bit too far. This is not turning out like a-okay. We need to like say something. So she went ahead and was like, hey, this is going too far. You might want to like stop. And Mia didn't.
Hmm.
Because Mia, doesn't like to admit when she's wrong, doesn't like to, stop when it's obvious she should.
Yeah. And just for clear note, yeah, that's roughly around the same time to why I met her. Is
Mm-hmm.
once she started saying that, I was just joking around. I was like, okay, well, it's obviously getting under Keem's skin, and that's what a lot of people like to do with Keem is try and get under his skin, whatever it's the whole K-pop thing, or what is the other thing like I forgot what the other stuff is, but mainly, it was just kind of just trolling on Keem. But eventually, when a lot of other people, on the post were just like, oh, yeah, yeah, I'm going to look it up and all this other stuff. And that's where it really got wrong. Um,
Yeah.
so, so what kind of actions did she do to you exactly to where she just went on the full blown cunt?
So Me and her stopped talking a while back because I was like, I need to distance myself. Like, I'm not the best person, but also I know when someone is just like too fucking toxic.
Yeah.
So stopped talking to her for a good bit. Blocked her on Twitter because I just didn't want to deal with her shit. And then I was talking with some friends and everything, and we were discussing, all the shit she did. You know, didn't think much of it up until we saw Colton. You know, I saw Colton post about interviewing Mia for supposedly being a victim of Rexion.
Hmm.
So me and Nicole talked, and we were like going through all the bullet points in the video, and we're like, this doesn't add up. She never brought this up, and connecting the dots. Like, she's full of fucking shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So
it is to that point.
Nicole,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nicole, no, sorry. What Nicole did was made a post calling out her and several other people for some really gross shit, just in general. But mainly the whole post was calling Mia out on her shit. And somehow we're, well, not somehow, because fucking Repzion obviously was already in drama with Colton to begin with.
Mhm.
So like Repzion caught wind of that and was like, how the fuck am I a victim? Or how the fuck is she a victim of me? Now the big thing that I was mainly calling her out on was the fact that she never brought up anything about like needing a cab or like asking for a cab from Repzion or anything.
Mhm.
So that's the main thing I was calling her out on. And sorry, trying to fucking remember all this shit. Um so, posted, proof that that wasn't the case, that she was not a victim
Mhm.
on Repzion's post. And she saw that Repzion, that I fucking showed it to Repzion, and she went the fuck off.
Mhm.
After she deactivated for like 3 or 4 days, after everything had died down, she had went off on me and Nicole for fucking, calling people out.
Mhm. And I've had seen some of those screenshots that you've sent me too. Now when it comes to Reptilion, like I'm not that big of a fan of Reptilion. Like,
Neither am
I
I.
have, yeah, like
I don't
it's
agree with anything really he says anymore. Like, I think he's pretty big fucking hypocrite. But
y-
at the same time, I'm not the type of person to sit there and just let someone's name be dragged through the dirt just because I don't like them when I
exactly.
know that they're not in the wrong.
Exactly, and that's how it was with me and Mia because again, it got to the point where Mia was attacking somebody else and saying like, "Oh, well, when it comes to them trying to get donations from people, it's like, technically it's your money. You are allowed
Mhm.
to do with it whatever you like. Like if you want to give it
Which
to
is
people,
insanely hypocritical, too,
yeah,
because she tried to get fucking donations to sue Keemstar for using her fucking picture to play tic tac toe.
which was a pretty serious game there too. Like I was watching something. It's like, Keem, don't put that X down there. And when he did, I was like, you lost, man. That's it. You're done. You're done. So, how exactly did you meet Colton and end up with bad terms with him then?
I never actually spoke to Colton. I like tweeted back and forth with him because I was like, dude, like what you're saying. Like he made a post trying to defend some very transphobic words that he said. So I initially started, informing him this is transphobic. You need to like reevaluate your shit. And me and other people were all doing this too. It wasn't just me, it was several other people, giving him articles, like trying to inform him, because
Yeah.
that's what you do when someone's in the wrong. And I eventually got sick of it to the point that I was fucking pissed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what you do when you're pissed off on Twitter is you fucking pop the fuck off. So I
Oh,
popped the fuck off.
and I'm willing to sit there and say myself that yeah, I have popped off on Twitter several times on several people, And that's just a good thing to do to try and get it all out there and whatnot. So pretty much he was just saying like transphobic things. Uh,
He tried saying things like, "Oh, there's only two genders." I tried to inform him there's actually technically three sexes and infinite genders because that's scientific fact.
I see. And pretty much he was just trying to argue about it, just saying like, no, that's not true or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just gets to that point though too. Like when it comes to the whole sexuality and everything. Like I kind of believe that everybody should do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you think that Mia went in an interview with Colin's channel, uh, and everything like that?
I think she did it to get back at Repzion for not supporting her when Keem was on her ass. Just
Mm.
plain and simple. She was pissed off that Repzion wasn't kissing her crusty asshole.
And why do you think that she was trying to get back at Repsilion, other than with Keem? Because if I remember correctly, like their main argument with Repsilion was she went up to Seattle, Washington to, or yeah, was it Seattle? I think it was Seattle. Well, either
No,
way.
it was Tacoma. She said Seattle, I think, in the interview with Colton,
Mhm.
and it was actually Tacoma.
Okay, so it's Tacoma, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And what exactly happened with all that? Because, like, from what I saw in the video, which is kind of playing in the background, is um, she just didn't have a phone charger, or she was just mad at him for what was it exactly?
Something about him not offering to, you know, get her a cab or an Uber or whatever, which isn't really his job. They spoke for like 5 minutes
Hmm.
before he left the courthouse.
Exactly. And
So, like, and my main gripe is that how are you going to travel? I don't know where exactly she is now, where she like went to Tacoma from, but you're traveling however far without a fully charged phone, a fucking charger, or like some sort of way to like get your ass back home or to a hotel. That's on you, not some stranger that you met for 5 minutes.
well, and if I remember correctly, she did say something within the lines that she barely knew who Repsilion was. She kind of just
Which
got like a impulse to sit there and just get a ticket to go to Washington, right?
that's what she claims, but I remember her saying, I don't know if I have the screenshots or not. I'm pretty sure I do, but she was saying how she was a fan of Repzion before all this and how she was like ready for Onision to be taken down. And it just makes no sense for you to go support someone in a random court case when you don't know anything about them, you know?
And so here's a follow up question to that. How do you think that she made the anti Onision followers? And you know how those people are. Like, they've been getting a lot of gruff where they're just like, they're really toxic. If you're not with them, you're against them kind of thing. And I
Mm-hmm.
think at one point, if I remember correctly, she did say that she was considering herself as an anti O. How do you think that she took that group, and what do you think she did to turn it on what she did, if that makes
Elaborate,
sense?
like, uh, the way I'm interpreting your question is, how does she make the whole community as a whole look? Is that what
Well,
you're asking?
as a whole, and did her actions make it more toxic to what it should have really been?
I don't think her alone made it toxic, but I do think that she fueled the narrative that the whole anti Onision community is extremely toxic, which it absolutely is.
It is.
I considered myself an anti O up until I joined Twitter for the first time in, I want to say, late January
Mm-hmm.
of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I was like, wow, all these people are super fucking toxic. Not considering myself this anymore.
And,
But I don't think that she necessarily made the anti-O's look toxic because they were doing a pretty damn good job of that by themselves. He
Hmm.
certainly did not help the narrative one bit.
Mm. Yeah, and that is true. Like, you know, once I started like joining in and started seeing the other anti-Onision people. For those that don't know what anti-O means, anti-O just stands for anti-Onision. Um, with that, why do you think that Mia jumped ship with Colin the same day, the interview with Slug, and started talking shit half the time?
I think she did it because I messaged her the day, I found out about the whole interview.
Mhm.
And I messaged her, like, hey, you're really going to support this kid who is insanely transphobic while you yourself claim to be non binary?
Mhm.
Like, how does that make sense? And it just all seemed very hypocritical, so I called her out on it in personal DMs. So she responded by getting all pissed off and then blocking.
Yeah, and she's not scared to sit there and start throwing that block button. I
She's
I
very
know
much.
that for sure. So pretty much like, do you know that was talked with when it came to her and Slug? Just mainly, just was it just yeah, he can go fuck himself, or like what exactly was she saying to where she couldn't just look through his Twitter and see everything that he was trying to type out?
I know absolutely nothing about the whole thing with her and Slug and fucking Colton. That's all between them. I don't know jack shit.
Hmm.
Wish I did, because that's some fucking hot ass tea I'd love to spill.
Right? Like I kind of want to just go look at it and find it myself and see. But and the thing is too, is like I've been kind of like playing in the background with Colton's video with his interview with Mia. Now, one of the things I have been looking at whenever I do look at his page is he seems really into trying to bash on Daniel or Reptilion. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think that, in my eyes, like I kind of see it, it's less stalkety, but more Reptilion spitting on his face because it seems like almost a lot of his videos has to do with Reptilion.
I think it's a mixture of wanting some sort of revenge for not, you know, being Repsion's buddy
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, and a mix of just all the toxic shit that he's been fed through all these other people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the full details of everything,
Oh yeah.
but I do know that he posted revenge porn of Repsion's girlfriend, and that started a whole shitstorm. Like half of everyone is against Repsion, half of everyone is against Colton, and it's just a clusterfuck.
Yeah, and I have seen that video with the I rant about Daniel, and he actually
Mm-hmm.
does sit there and say, "Well, you can go on Google, and you can search the name, and then you can find it." Now, and that's one thing. Like I do have to condemn Leon's girlfriend is it's like that's kind of in the past, and that's where it should be, and you shouldn't have somebody who's technically 16 posting that kind of stuff. Well, was he now 17? I think.
Yeah, he just turned 17 like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Mm, okay. And you said that he also posted up uh, underage pictures,
The
correct?
whole thing with that is that it's supposed. There's no proof either way of it being child pornography or not child pornography. Sorry, you're probably gonna need to edit that a bit, but there's no proof on either side of it being CP or not CP.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly hearsay at this point.
Of
I don't
course.
know either way. I know very little given that. All I know is that he posted some censored version of some nudes of Maya, and she basically said, "Hey, this is CP. Can you please take this down?" He made a video apologizing and then retracted it.
Okay. So And that's kind of a scary thing because he's already 17, correct?
Hmm.
And when did he post that exactly? Do you know?
I have no idea. It was within like the last month or two, I believe.
Okay. Well, I think you and me talked about this earlier where I told you, like, technically it is considered a federal crime if you do have uh, underage pornography, even on your phone. Like, if the
Mhm.
FBI or, say the police were actually able to obtain his cell phone or his computer and actually see that he has underage porn, he would actually be in more trouble with
Absolutely.
the federal.
Even without it being CP, it's still legally considered revenge porn because he had malicious intent and Maya did not want this seen by the general public. So even if it is publicly available, no one knew about it until he went and blasted it. So it's legally considered or not child pornography, revenge.
Yeah, revenge porn, and especially when he has 838 subscribers on his channel, like I'm looking at right now, that doesn't really help him out that much at all. Because if the video that I was watching, he has almost 7.8 thousand views on it, and he posted that a month ago, where he was sitting there trying to argue about, well, don't have to take my word for it. You can go search it on Google and you can find it. And that's just one of those things. It's just like, well, why bother to tell people how you found it? Just leave it as it
Mhm.
is. Okay.
That's not even how he found it either. I
Hmm.
heard that there was two people, someone named Phoenix and another person, I can't remember the name, but
Yeah.
they apparently gave Colton the information to either find it or they sent it to him, which is feeding pornography to a minor, which is highly illegal.
It actually is extremely illegal, like for FBI and federales, or federal. Sorry, I kind of went Spanish there, federales. But yeah, I mean, that's really something that they shouldn't have done if they are considered Reptilian's friends, let alone if it's not really your, stuff to go sharing around, you shouldn't be sharing it. The same thing with iDubbbz. It's a good example. His girl wants to go and do a My OnlyFans. That's fine. And same thing with Mia. I mean, it's kind of weird at the fact that she's starting to do this because now I'm starting to see that the only reason she's trying to get into trying to get heads rocking, or at least this is how I feel, is the reason why that she went on with Slug, she went on with Colton. I think she's trying to promote herself enough, so then that way she can get a fast cash grab when it comes to like My Only, or trying to get people to give her money so she can turn around and sue Keemstar.
I don't know if she's gonna try to sue Keemstar still. I
No,
think that
I
shit has gone past. But she definitely seems to be trying to, you know, get that quick cash grab.
yeah. And that's, again, it's a theory. I'm not 100% sure what she's trying to do, but I think when I first met her, it was roughly around that Keemstar, and I think she was like selling candles. I think it was
Yep,
like, yeah,
and so
yeah, candles and soap. And I think that didn't really go up. And she kind of saw, well, it's probably easier to just start, posting noodles out on the internet for people to sit there and
I
buy.
don't know how she thinks that she's going to be getting $11
That's
for nudes. Like,
and
there's women who are like far more talented in that industry than she is, such as Belle Delphine, Ashley Lilly, to name a few.
well, and the
And they're charging like $5, like the bare minimum, and she's out here trying to get people to spend $11 a month on her.
well, I know Billafine charges hers for $30. The last time I checked.
That I don't know exactly how much she charged. All I knew is the amount that she ended up getting in total, like her first like day, which is like 1,500.
With Billafine.
Sim- yeah, it felt like
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you met with me. I was just like, really? Like the last time I checked her Twitter, she only had like three, Twitter
I was
followers.
talking about Belle Delphine.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, that would make sense then. Um, but yeah, so going back to with Mia and doing the porn, because I was about to point out, it's like there's a lot of well-known porn stars. What do you look at, like say Stormy Daniels or um, I don't know, like Nemo Mouth. They're a lot more like what you said. Yeah, they are talented. And on top of that, they're not selling as high as $11, where they're more selling like between $5 or $7, or depending on how well known they are, versus asking for $11 a month, which is kind of overpriced there. Like I'd rather go buy a beer. Okay, so those are all mainly the questions. Yeah. Anybody else has questions? I mean, go ahead and post them. I'm sure we'll probably do another one most likely, because I kind of like this. This is kind of fun. Do you have any last words for Mia and Colton or Slug or anybody like that?
I'm a victim.
Oh, that thin skin. I bet you're gonna go and start suing her or me. Oh my God, don't sue me. I'm not.
Don't forget the Cash App.
Cash app everything.